Welcome to episode 49. 49 people of the Ben Briggs podcast. I am Ben Briggs. It's Tuesday. Tuesday, people. Tuesday, 22nd of October, 2019. How are you doing out there? You're all right? How's your week going? Is it going okay? I know I always say this on a fucking Tuesday. Yeah, you're almost halfway through, people. That's it. I've had a bit of a, oddly enough, kind of a lazy sort of day. It started from last night, really. I had a bit of a late one last night. I stayed up. I got sent some interview questions by a local reviewer. Peter Fox from the Knots Comedy Review, who reviews a lot of gigs around the Midlands whilst dressed as a Gestapo agent. I don't think he'll mind me saying that. So I got sent some questions to do for that and got a little bit carried away, got a bit fucking self-indulgent with it. And I think I wrote far too much shit on there. But I stayed up late doing that last night and then fucking obsessed over the fucking spelling and fucking grammar of it because I didn't want to come across as a retard. So got that off today and that's been posted up. That is on, if you're interested in reading any of those questions, basically about what I think about comedy and other bits and bobs on there. And there's about 10 questions. It's a fucking book I wrote. Basically, I got a little bit, as I say, I got a little bit carried away with that. But if you're interested in reading that shit, that is been posted on my Facebook page, which is at the Ben Briggs, or on my podcast page as well. I think I put it up there as well. So that's on the at the Ben Briggs podcast Facebook page. So if you just type in on Facebook at the Ben Briggs podcast, it will spring up. My face will spring into life and on there, and it'll be on there that you can fucking read through or whatever you want to do, or just judge me for it. That's what you can do. But it was kind of actually quite cathartic doing it. Actually trying to put your thoughts in order about how you feel about the comedy circuit and how you feel about the material you do, and having it described as sort of like edgy or edgy. I think it was described. He described it as edgy material and dark, which I've never really thought. Really, it's just that's the material that I do. It's just like the way I just write about what kind of interests me, really. But it's interesting when people try and pigeonhole you into different holes just to try and categorize the stuff that you do. I suppose it is a little bit dark, but it's not that fucking, hopefully not dark for dark's sake, as they say. Anyway, if you want to read all that shit, it's on there. It's all explained better than I can off the top of my head, really. Although most of it was written off the top of my head, but it gets a little bit self-indulgent at times. But hey, it was about me, wasn't it? Like this podcast is, people. That's it. I ask you how your week's going and then talk about myself, don't I? This is the fucking most cathartic thing I do. That's it, getting it all out there. This is essentially a fucking therapy session for me. Let's have a little bit of tea. This is the tea break for this episode. Fucking nice that is, man. Yorkshire tea, like tea used to be. So what have I done today? Well, I am cracking on with the old decorating, I tell you that much. I've filled most of the cracks, as they say, as if I'm in a fucking, just turned up as a decorator in a fucking porn film or something. But I filled most of the cracks I've just got to do a bit of sanding down, and then we're ready to start slapping on the paint. What's that? What am I? I said I'd have it done by Tuesday, didn't I? That's not going to fucking happen, people. Ah, dear. I don't know why I just don't resign to the fact and just say, look, it's going to take me 4 weeks to paint one room. That's it. If I do it in a shorter time than that, it's fine. I'm already behind schedule. It's like fucking Brexit. That's my decorating technique is the same as that's been delayed again, hasn't it, today? They're trying to crack on till January now rather than October the 31st. People out there who are not from the UK, this is not a big issue for you. It probably will be if you're from Europe because you won't be able to travel here as easy. But you probably will. You just buy a flight, don't you? You know, if you're just coming over for your holidays, you just buy a flight, don't you? I don't really see what the problem is. You know, if I do stuff abroad or whatever, I'm only over there, you know, I'm only going to be over there for about a day or so, aren't I? You know, you come over for a 2-week holiday for England. I don't know why you would do that, by the way. You can see it all in about 3 days. 2 days if you miss out London. Just you'll spend most of the time on the motorways in this country. If you're travelling about, then you will actually seeing stuff. Just stuck in traffic. All you're going to see is like the number plates and rear brake lights of the car in front of you if you're travelling. Don't ever do a fly drive holiday in the UK. You'll need about 6 months just to do the Midlands. It's fucking horrendous at the moment with the traffic and closing down the roads at night. Anyway, Ben, little bit of a moan there. I did today get well into... I watched a really, really good documentary today. I know, educating myself again. Tell me about it. Ben, still learning things? I'm trying to, yeah. Trying to be a better person. Sue me for it, yeah? Speak to my lawyers. I watched a doc. Should I call it a doc? I don't know. Sounds a bit wanky, doesn't it? I watched a documentary called The Game Changers. This was inspired, by the way, by the fact I'm becoming a bit of a fat lard ass. I put on a stone, like, in about the last month because the fucking gym I go to go swimming, essentially. That's what I do. I go to the gym to go swimming. I get dressed in a tracksuit and trainers that I specifically wear to the gym. I go to the gym, I change out of those, get changed into swim shorts, and then go swimming, like, for about half an hour. And I feel really refreshed by that. But the lame-ass shit-fest of a gym that I go to has closed the swimming pool because they've got to, like, I don't know what they're doing. They've got to do something with it. They've got to replace the inner skin like they're a fucking snake. So they've closed that. So there's no point me going to the gym because I don't want to hang around with the wankoirs, as they say in France, the wankers who hang around like the gym lifting weights and shit like that because it just takes you ages to get on the machines. So I don't want to do that and hang around with them pretty boys. So I've just been festering. Festering, is that the right word? Festering. I pretty much, yeah. Festering on my sofa and just eating loads. So I've put on a stone in like about a month since I haven't been going swimming. I was watching a doc. I thought, how's the best way to combat that, Ben? How's the best way to combat this weight you have put on? Basically, it just makes me look like a normal person. I'm always fucking underweight. I've always been underweight. Always. I don't know why that is. High metabolism, don't eat enough, I don't know. Eat shit, probably. But, believe it or not, people, I have quite a fairly healthy diet. I'm like one of them vegetarian fags. So, I don't eat meat or anything like that. So, I thought the best way to try and get into fitness is to watch a documentary about eating habits rather than go out and go for a run or something. Like any normal person would look at themselves and go, I essentially look at the minute a bit like a snake that swallowed a bowling ball. I've got hell of a belly on me at the minute. I'm getting quite used to it, actually. I'm quite liking it. It's like I'm bulking up for winter, like a bear who's hibernating. So I thought the best way, rather than actually do any exercise, is watch a documentary about healthy eating. So I watched the documentary The Game Changers, which is really fucking interesting. I don't know if anybody's seen it out there, but it's like a documentary about like moving them away from meat to a plant-based diet. I know people out there going, but how are you going to get your protein, man? How are you going to get your protein? Well, they came out with some really good points that I haven't thought about before. You eat, obviously, if you eat meat out there, all of the meat that you eat, cows, pigs, chickens, and shit like that, where they get their protein from like obviously from vegetables and a plant-based diet, don't they? They're the middleman to you getting the protein, you meat eaters out there, you savages. So it was really interesting, some of the points they were making about how, like, chickens, like pigs, cows and that are the middlemen for protein. And if you go direct to the source, it can be healthier for you. You're still getting the same protein, but you're obviously not getting the fat from the animals, the animal meat and that sort of thing. And also, whilst you're going to a plant-based diet, you're getting the vitamins and minerals within that plant-based diet that are consumed by the chickens and pigs and the cows that you don't actually get from eating the meat, which is quite... I never thought of it like that before. I thought, well, that's obvious, yeah. You know, cows and pigs are getting their protein from plants, so just skip out the middleman and go for that. I don't eat meat anyway. Not that I'm willing to, not that I'm on here banging on going, hey, man, save the cow, man, save the cow. Or willing to convert anybody. It was just like opening my eyes a little bit to why, I eat some sort of like animal products. I have cheese. I know. I have eggs and stuff. I don't eat eggs raw because it's fucking disgusting, really. It's that little stringy bit that seems to hold the fucking yolk to the white bit. Like there's a little gristly clear bit in an egg that, man, I can't even make scrambled eggs or anything like that. When I used to have scrambled eggs, I always ask people to, whoever's cooking it for me, whatever lady or ladies, it was my mum. Let's be honest. It was my mum and my ex-girlfriend used to make me scrambled eggs. I'd ask them to take that bit out because it was just the idea of it being in there somewhere. I know, I'm a finicky eater. Just used to make me gag. But it was quite interesting how they were coming back and saying sort of like that we as humans... like there's a fallacy about like how we used to eat meat when we were, I was going to say when we were younger, when we were, thousands of years ago, when we were cavemen and stuff like that. But how we used to eat meat, but how actually our bodies actually show that we never used to eat that much meat. I know they find bones and everything like that in these campsites from like the Stone Age, but they're the only things that survive. So they had a very little meat in their diet, and it was mainly, and our bodies show that by the fact that we've got long intestines for processing plant-based foods and sucking all the nutrients out of that, whereas like animals like lions and tigers who only eat meat have a shorter, compared to their body size, of a shorter intestine, which is quite interesting. Like our bodies actually show it. And things like having trichromatic eyes and eyesight, where we can see more colours than like lions that have sort of like dichromatic eyes, is because we need to like differentiate between fruits and that are fucking ripe. That's the word I'm looking for, isn't it? Fruits that are ripe. So it's quite interesting watching that documentary. I know I'm fucking boring you to bits and you're going, shut up, man, and you're eating a burger right now. Just going, kill the planet, kill everything, I'll eat everything. But it's interesting how like athletes and even people like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was like massive for eating meat, and Conor McGregor and people like that, are now going over to like a plant-based diet and find that like eating meat actually works against them in a athletic realm. And it was just really interesting watching it. And I was like, oh, fucking hell, you know, like, there's me saying I'm putting on weight and I'm a vegetarian. By the way, I've totally even before I was telling you about this documentary, I've totally undercut it by saying, yeah, I've been sitting around putting on a stone in a month. How's that a vegetarian diet working out for you, Ben? Clearly not well. Clearly not well. I've been eating too much, if anything, of the old plant-based diet. I ought to go on meat just to lose fucking weight. But it was just interesting trying to actually watching it, and some of the things make sense. Obviously, it's coming from a guy who's made the documentary, who's made this. He's probably got a vested interest in a plant-based diet. I don't know. He probably owns a cabbage farm somewhere. It's all the same, isn't it? You know. Bit more tea there. He's probably sold me that. Yeah, but it was quite interesting how they were saying about the marketing of how the marketing of things like meat, food, burgers has mirrored the marketing of smoking when they stopped advertising smoking, because that initially said it was healthy for you and it was good for you, and these sports stars they all smoke. And then all those sports stars died of fucking lung and throat cancer. So they moved on to doctors telling you that smoking was healthy in the adverts. And then they obviously found out smoking was a massive carcinogenic. And they banned all smoking ads. And from that, then fast food outlets like McDonald's and Burger King like went straight in and took off from where they left off with their marketing plan and started marketing meat, obviously, and burgers with sports stars. And as that's become more of an issue, that's kind of backed off a little bit. But they're still obviously advertising with sports stars even today. But it was quite interesting seeing the parallels between those two things, where smoking and the fast food industry interrelated with regards to how they've gone about marketing themselves. It's really interesting documentary. I fully fucking recommend it. Yeah, it was just a bit of an eye-opener, particularly even for me. Not that I'm like banging on about it, going on protests or vegan marches like people do these days. But I've been vegetarian for years now. And yeah, and it's always that protein argument that people say, where are you going to get your protein from? Well, where the fuck do, cows and chickens and any other herbivores get their protein from? It's from fucking plants, which seems so obvious. I don't know, man. Maybe I need to be... I should have paid more attention in science class at school, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, talking of marketing, you know what we've got now, people? We've got a few adverts to read out. We've got one advert to read out. Only one advertiser for this episode. Things are slipping off. It seems weird, doesn't it? Doesn't that seem weird? And there's only seems to be one advertiser on a Tuesday, but two on a Saturday. Strange how these things happen. Okay, then. So here we go. This episode's advertising. Are you lost in the gender minefield? Do you even know what gender you really are? Are you a man confused by enjoying having a sit-down piss, or a lady who walks around with an empty toilet roll in your pants? Well, Gender App can help. Gender App will tell you what gender you really are and take all of the confusion away in literally seconds. Gender App uses complicated gender algorithms to pinpoint the exact gender you are. Find out if you should really have a penis, or you should be doing the lion's share of the cleaning and cooking. Read Matt's story. This is Matt's story. Hi, I'm Matt. I'm 23 years old and used to enjoy tucking my penis between my legs and running around supermarkets naked and thought nothing of it. I thought it was normal male behaviour, but a friend suggested I might need Gender app. I logged on, put in my details, and within seconds it processed my results. It turns out I should be a 56-year-old library assistant called Susan from Swansea. I'm now happily married to a plumber called Wayne. Thanks for sorting out my life, Gender app. Gender app has been proven to be probably maybe 100% accurate in almost 100% of cases. All percentages are rounded up to the nearest 100%. Gender app is part of the Gender Reassignment Surgery Group. By downloading the app, you are committing to gender reassignment surgery and will be pursued for the full cost of this unless you cancel. To cancel, you will need to repeatedly text no 3,764 times to each of our text messages we send you on a half-hourly basis. That's Gender app, guys. Gender app. That is the advertising done for this episode. Let's have a look. What time is it? Oh, man, it's like 11:15 at night. I'm doing this late again. I do it late every time, don't I, people? Hey, leave it to the last minute. That's the thing, isn't it? Let's have a look at what's been on the fucked up news this week. Let's have a look. This is great. Mum has hiccups for 12 years after getting them while pregnant. Now, that headline alone, for 12 years, that's some. I thought I procrastinate with things and put things off, getting things sorted out. But 12 years with hiccups, Jesus Christ. I'm surprised if she's got any more kids whatsoever. A mother of two, here we go, is looking for answers after more than a decade of constant hiccups. Surely after a couple of weeks, you'd go to the doctors to try and get that sorted out, wouldn't you? Surely you would. You know, you wouldn't leave it 12 years and then sell your story to a paper, would you? You could sell it after 10, 5, 3 maybe. Lisa Graves, 31, has seen experts who that they may be a side effect of a stroke. Oh, shit. That was noticed during pregnancy with her first child. So she's been nailed with hiccups afterwards. The nail technician from Lincoln says that she's got used to them. But sometimes they can be so loud they have been compared to a dog's back. Oh, fucking hell. After it's been stood on and the noise of a chicken. Jesus Christ. Who's standing on dogs to compare that noise? Jesus, you sound just like this dog. What dog? That one. Bang. Lisa's husband, Matthew, 35, and daughters, Emily and Sophie, 7 and 11, take them in their stride, but strangers often need pre-warning. My wife's a nightmare. Have a look at them hiccups. Sorry about that. She wants to find a cure, but until then, she says she has just had to get used to them. I'm lucky. I own my own salon, and the majority of the girls that I work with have grown used to it. But I can still make them jump, and then there's been plenty of mishaps when working on nails, with a wild stroke of the brush here and there. Yeah, I can imagine. Fucking hell. Jesus, it's lucky she's not a surgeon or something. Can you imagine that? Hiccups for 12 years. You just want to kill yourself. Wasn't that an episode of... it was either Family Guy or The Simpsons, where they had a guy on there who had hiccups for ages, and he was just hiccuping, going, kill me, kill me, kill me. Jesus. I initially tried every hiccup remedy in the book. People make me jump, sucking on a lemon, literally everything. Glass of water upside down. That's the classic, isn't it? Glass of water upside down, innit? But nothing works. And when the neurologist thought that... Jesus Christ, I sound pissed myself there. But nothing worked. And when the why can't I say that word? No, but nothing worked. And when the neurologist, bang, nailed it third time, thought they'd cracked it, I decided to not go down the medicated route. There was no guarantee it would work, and it was manageable. So so she can have this fixed with medication, but she just don't want to take it. Is that it? Jesus Christ. Is that it, really? She can get it fixed by medication, but just thought, nah, fuck it, I'll live with it. Sometimes I do go on work courses and meals out with the family, things like that, and they can be hard. I feel like I have to let people know what might happen. It's a loud noise and it can be embarrassing. Yeah, fuck me, yeah. I think I'm likely to be hiccuping till my grave. Oh, Jesus, what a fucking bleak outcome that is. But it's become part of me now. She fucking loves it, doesn't she? It makes her special. Look at her, tattoo on her shoulder. Fucking lip piercing. She's loving it. There she is, sucking on a lemon. You know, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that for the picture. That's what they've done, isn't it? They've gone, here, go and suck on a lemon. It doesn't work. No, but just do it for the picture. Make it look as though you've just got a really bitter taste in your mouth. It doesn't work. It doesn't cure me. No, for the picture, though. For the picture, for the paper. Do that. Fucking sell your story. Jesus. For everyone who knows me, it's just a way of life, just who I am. I can hiccup in the middle of a conversation and it can be loud. Most people say it sounds... Oh, yeah. Fucking same thing, innit? Yeah, there we go. The longest known case of hiccuping is 68 years. Fucking hell. Fuck me. 68 years. Charles Osborne from Anthon, Iowa, started hiccuping while trying to weigh a hog before it was slaughtered in 1922. He hiccuped around 40 times a minute for the first few decades, but it eventually slowed to 20 a minute. Jesus, fuck me, though. That's every 3 seconds in the latter part of his life. They only stopped when he died. Blake as fuck. What's that? It's old Charles is fucking quiet today. Yeah, he's fucking dead, mate. He's fucking dead. Finally cured himself of hiccups. 68 fucking years. When he's trying to weigh a hog before it was slaughtered. Fuck me. Jesus. He must have got excited. He wasn't trying to weigh that hog, was he? He probably got a little bit out of breath. Charles, why are you trying to weigh that hog with your trousers down your ankles? Oh, nothing at all. It's just the way I always weigh hogs. This is just gives me a bit of freedom to pick the hog up. What's that? Are you? Yeah, why is your penis out? There we go, and that's what started the hiccups for old Charles Osborne. Oh dear. Don't slaughter hogs. That's something we've learned out of that, isn't it? Don't slaughter hogs or you're going to have the hiccups for 68 years. Jesus Christ. He must have been old when he died as well. You know, because I imagine even if he was 12 years old when he was fucking weighing that hog, that's 80 he's lived till. That's not bad. Especially in 1922, like when he actually initially got the hiccups, to have it for 68 years. Jesus, man. He had that all the way through the Second World War, the fucking 50s, when he's a teddy boy. Teddy boy, then he's a hippie in the 60s. He's still hiccuping. People don't change that much. That's it. Got into punk music in the 70s. He's still going. Still going off there. Fucking hell, man. 80s, in his new romantic stage. He's still hiccuping all the way through that. Oh, fuck me. Jesus. When will this end? Just every picture of him in different outfits and different decades is just him jerking his fucking head back. Oh, fucking hell, Jesus. I imagine he wasn't married. That's all I can say. What are we on? 29 fucking minutes. Jesus, 29 minutes. It's almost the end, people, of this episode. I know I've gone on a little bit. I might have to go for a run or something this week, I tell you, man. We are just to try and get a bit fitter, try and be a bit more active. I was literally out of breath, sanding the walls down in my bedroom the other day. I've got to do something about that, people. Right, that is going to be my thing I do this week. My one thing that I guarantee I probably won't do, but that is my my goal for the week, to go out and go for a run. Get in contact with your goals for the week, people. You can email me at podcast@benbriggs.co.uk. Like and share this. If you want to leave us a review, you can do that. If you want to read that article I did, not the article, the questions that I answered for Knott's Comedy Review, that is on at the Ben Briggs Facebook page or at the Ben Briggs podcast Facebook page. I'll be back on Saturday, people. Have a good week, motherfuckers, and I'll speak to you then.